This is the double thumb layout by Morich products. First, you take an existing ball, mark out your center grip, your midline, move over and mark out your axis point, which for me is 5 inches over, 1 inch up, and draw out your vertical axis line. The second step is to place your prosect with the 0 point on your axis point, the spine along your axis line, and then mark out valve angle, which will be 30 degrees for this layout. Third step will be from that 30-degree mark you make through your axis point to draw a 4-inch line, which will mark out your new pin position, which will end up looking like this. See the 30-degree angle, and on that line that I just created you mark out 4 inches. This is where the pin placement will be measured off of. You do not use the actual pin on the ball. The next step is to mark out your mass bias where it will be assumed to be on the next ball, which is a 1/2 inch from the thumb hole. Notice once again that you are not using the actual marked mass bias on the previously drilled ball. You are creating a new one. Through the mark we just created here as the mass bias, and the first mark we made up here as the marked pin, you draw your line, which will end up looking like this here. And the final step for this part is to measure your drilling angle by placing the prosect with the 0 point here, spin along the line we just made, and to measure out the angle here, which is 60 degrees for me. So this layout for my double thumb will be 60 by 4 inches by 30. Pretending that this ball is undrilled, this will be where we're going to lay out the double thumb drilling from the measurements we just got off the previous ball. The first step here would be to make a line from the pin to the actual marked mass bias on this ball. Then, using the drilling angle that you got off of the first ball, which will be different for every bowler. For me it was 60 degrees. We're going to go ahead and mark this out. At 60 degrees, like so. Then, by placing the 0 on the pin of the ball, you make your line through the 60-degree mark that we just made. And along this line you mark out your pin position, which will be 4 inches. From there you place the 0 on the mark that we just made, which is going to be our positive axis point, with the spine towards the pin. You're going to mark out your valve angle, which will always be 30 degrees. End up looking like this. And through the positive axis point that we marked out, through the 30-degree mark we just made, draw a long line. This will be your vertical axis line. So far we have the drilling angle, the 4-inch pin, and the 30-degree valve angle. Final steps from here are to reverse the bowler's positive axis point to find their midline and center grip. For me, my axis point is 5 inches over, 1 inch up. So to reverse that, we will go 1 inch down, perpendicular to the valve. Will end up looking like this, and we mark out 5 inches over, and then at 5 inches, this will be where these two lines intersect, my center grip. Then for each bowler, you just measure half each way for their span. For me, my span is 4 inches cut to cut center, which is 2 up, 2 down. So my new layout with the double thumb would end up with the 2 fingers here and my thumb just below the one that's actually here, right there. The final step for the double thumb is the balance hole. I did a real rough sketch here of what the thumb hole would actually look like in my ball here. Then you can see that 1 inch over from the outer sleeve, or ½ inch over from the outer sleeve,
you've been examined,
is where the mass bias will land. Then from 1.5 inches from the edge of the sleeve will be the balance hole. And this is the double thumb layout.